Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi. You are watching MNT News Network, and today is Sunday, and every Sunday we have session in English. So today we are discussing a very important topic. We have with us the election, coming very near. Election is ahead of, just in front of us. So the thing is that today's topic is on the politics, and the on the screen we have the topic. The today's topic is political philosophy of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and we have eminent speaker Mulnivasi Gangadin Gautam. He is a social activist from Delhi, and we will be discussing this topic with him, the political philosophy of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. And we will know about it. We have a time limitation. We will discuss this topic within 30 minutes, and let us see how much we can cover it, or how much we can understand, or how much we have the lesson learning from that one. So let us invite the today's speaker on the screen, and let us have a warm welcome. सर जय भीम जय मूल निवासी जय संविधान जय भारत.
जय 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 भीम जय मूल निवासी जय संविधान जय भारत. Sanjay, how are you?
Yeah, good sir, good. Today you have appeared with us. You have given your very special time with us for the political philosophy of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. We have and we have election in front of us, and everybody would like to in this scenario, in this context, everybody is eager to know, because we have reached at the verge where people has no direction. They are directionless. They do not know that which direction politically we should go, and so at that point of time, everybody in the nation, everybody in the each corner of the country, the people are talking about that what the Baba Sahib Ambedkar has shown the path, what the Baba Sahib Ambedkar has uh, given the political philosophy for us, to build this nation, the India, to build a one Indian nation. Yeah. So I think the first I would like to have a light on this topic itself. Once more time, I will show the this banner on the screen, the political philosophy of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, and let us have in brief discussion on the political philosophy, and then in between, once you have given the overall picture of the political philosophy of Baba Saheb, and then I will come into, and then I will ask some more questions, sir. So you can start from here. Will let us know, yeah, the political philosophy.
Yes, Sanjay. Actually, the topic political philosophy of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is very relevant. As you explained, the election is around the corner. But the first question we have posed is basically what is the political philosophy of Babasaheb? So basically, if you look at the work of Babasaheb, uh, he has written number of books on a variety of topics and all that, but you will not find a single book which Baba Sahib has written on his political philosophy.
Mhm.
So basically, to know the political philosophy of Baba Sahib, uh, basically you have to see his whole life.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
uh, and the work done by him, and the work basically that is a whole experience basic throughout his life, starting from his childhood, what he went through, and childhood, youth, and then his basically the social work, and this political work, and all those, and the participation in the governments and all that. So basically, because his political philosophy basically comes out of his life, his work. So let us briefly let us touch upon his his life
All
from the
right.
beginning. It's just so as we know, basically, Baba Sahib was born in 1891 on 14th April, and basically in Madhya Pradesh, and in a Mahar community. So
yes,
basically, that is the untouchable community. And but his father was Subedar is military, so you can say
yeah,
he was from educated family. So and basically his initial say the education, which was a primary education in Satara. Then then he moved to basically Bombay for high school and the graduation and all that. So
right,
after the graduation and this thing, basically he worked for some time. He worked in the Baroda princely state as a lieutenant. But because his father passed away, so he has to left and return back to Mumbai. So
yeah,
uh, if you see, basically, then he basically with the help of the Sahaji Maharaj Gaikwad,
yeah,
he went for the higher studies in the US, and where he did his post graduation and PhD, and then he moved to London for the MSc and BSc. Uh, and but because he has got the scholarship for 3 years, so he went in the June 1913 to the US. Then he has to come back in the 1916 after 3 years, because this thing, as per the agreement with the Sahaji Maharaj, he
yes,
had to come back and serve the this the state. But
yes,
and as committed, he came back and basically he went to Baroda. But you see, in Baroda, even this because of the touchability, even he could not manage to get the accommodation. And
yeah,
with the basically by changing his name, keeping it as a Parsi, so he could find up for accommodation for a few days in a Persian Sarai. And in the
yeah,
office, he was not given any the respect. People, this thing, PM and all that, they used to throw the file on his table and all that. He used to have the problem of getting water, drinking water and all that. And even his friends in Baroda could not help him in getting the accommodation. Even he put the application for accommodation with in the office, and but this thing. So ultimate and in the Sarai, when people this thing people came to know he was untouchable and staying in the Persian Sarai. So people came and threatened him, and he was asked to vacate immediately. So
yeah,
basically, even for that high-ranking position, he was military secretary there, and then and of course so much educated. He has already completed his PhD and all that. So
yeah,
he could, but because of the untouchability and all that, he could not get this thing, and he has to return back to Mumbai and they start basically his this thing the other the education and all the profession to get.
sir,
So and of course this thing then again because with the help of Kolhapur Maharaj, Sahuji Maharaj, he went again went back to London to complete his DSc and this thing Bharat Law, and
yeah,
I came back in the basically you can say in the 1923-24. So
okay,
and because of all these things, you just see from the beginning, even in the primary education, he was
uh-huh,
facing. We know that he used to sit outside class, and he has to carry his this thing tat, so called that putty to sit there. And in when he came to Mumbai for high school and graduation, still there he used to face the problem because of the this thing. So all these things kept they kept on basically agitating him. within
mm,
because I'm looking at the this thing, social the status of the untouchables in the society and all that.
yeah,
So basically, he decided to devote his life for the welfare of the untouchables, for upliftment of this thing, untouchables socially as well politically. So this thing, after coming returning from basically London, he he started basically his the social work, public life, and if you
mm,
see basically that was in 1923. Then uh, uh, he basically in the even 1923 he moved to basically uh, 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 1927 he basically entered into the politics. He was basically in the Bombay Council of Legislature,
yes,
and and he started participating in the social movement. Like carried out that satyagraha for this thing, Mahat this thing Chawad, this thing tank water, drinking water. And then because he felt that this thing Manusmriti, that
yeah,
uh, Hindus Granth, basically he burnt that Manusmriti, because that gave the sanction of this untouchability and all that Varna ashram. So
okay,
and then basically if you see this thing in 1930 and to 32, that round table conference, which was
yes,
basically meant for giving the facilities to various communities and all that. So Baba Sahab participated in all three roundtable conferences, starting from 1930 to 31, 32, and where he put forth basically the demands and of this untouchables, and basically so-called depressed classes. He used to call them depressed classes. So and explain them that this basically their conditions. And he was the who explained them that untouchables were not part of the Hindu community, because Gandhi and Congress, they used to tell that this they need not be considered as a separate community. But
yes,
they
sir.
are Hindu. But Baba Sahib was the person who explained them, and based on his experience, he explained them this thing, how the so-called untouchables, deprived classes live in India. So and then of course subsequently in 1935 he declared yeah, he will not die as a Hindu.
Sir.
But he was born in Hindu. That was not in his hand, but he will not die. And
So
as we know that 1936, he that
I think,
basically,
sir, I want
yeah,
to just stop you here. I think, with respect to the time, I think we will have
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
cut
yeah.
it
I
short
just
here. Yeah,
quickly, yeah, I
yeah,
quickly this thing. So basically, you can say this thing. Then in the 1937, he first formed the political party, that is
yes,
Independent Labour Party. Then
yes,
1942 again this thing, All India Scheduled Caste Federation, and subsequently in 1955 that he
yes.
formed the Republican Party. So
So
if you see his the work, it was basically his experience of what he went through. So
yeah,
so
I
his so his
I would like
philosophy,
to,
yeah,
sir,
his
I would like to draw the, draw your attention here. Since you have started his statement that, from the 1951, he started participation, because that was the year the election started. So in the the I'm just looking at the volume 17, part 3, and in the page number 438, Baba Saheb has given this speech in the Patiala, Punjab on 29th October 1951 during the election campaign. Yeah, and the heading of this speech is "The poor people must unite separately to achieve their purpose." This is the heading of the speech, that poor people must unite separately to achieve their purpose. So here he is talking about the we the people of India. And with that one, if we go through this speech, then we come that here the poor people, who is the poor people, then it's all about the ST, SC, and OBC. It's very
Right.
clear, reading forward. So what I'm trying to, raise the question here, then Baba Sahib is telling us, the voters, that the poor people must unite separately to achieve their purpose. And then another context the Baba Sahib is saying, Baba Sahib has written that we just should not just participate in the voting. We should not just keep voting only, but we must be the lawmaker. We must be the policy maker. So that is the second statement in the other place. And if I come to, the, so here it's addressing, or here it's telling to the citizen of India, or to the we the Bahujan Mulnivasi people. And at the same time, there is another context that from the volume 17 itself, then he is telling something to the parties. And that one is Honorable Dr. Ambedkar, Labor Minister, he on the 12th January 1943. And what he has written, this is that non-Brahmin party should rebuild itself. This is
Yeah.
also from the volume 17, part 3, and the serial number is given on the 82. Non-Brahmin party should rebuild itself. So what I am trying to ask you here, what I want to raise with this statement of Baba Saheb, that one hand he said that Bahujan Mul Nivasi must unite separately. That is the
Yeah.
one thing. So he is telling us as a citizen that where we should unite, where we should unite. That is the one thing. And the other thing he is telling, that non-Brahmin party. It's very, very, strong statement.
Right.
Non-Brahmin party should rebuild itself. And that is the scenario in the country. That is the scenario we see today. Yeah, that where our voters, where our parties belongs to, how they think, what is their in a combination of what is their constituent into their parties. So with respect to these two statements, how do you see this political philosophy of Baba Sahib?
You see, uh, what Baba Sahib is trying to say is
Hmm.
basically the other people cannot solve our problem.
Right.
We who can solve our problem ourselves, because if you when this thing you mentioned Baba Sahib's speech and all that here.
Yeah.
I'll just will read one stanza of that
Yeah.
speech here.
Yes.
Actually, where Baba Sahib is justifying uh,
Yes, sir.
uh, this basically 127 poor people must unite
Yeah.
separately to achieve it. But actually, we should understand this thing when Baba Sahib was giving a speech and this thing. That time the political there was only one major political party,
Yes.
Congress. Now
Yes.
in today's context, that is not so. But scenario remains same. So
Yes.
basically,
Yes.
when we say congressman in his speeches and all that, it's basically any political party which is not basically which is basically managed by this thing higher so-called higher class people. So.
Hmm.
There, basically, in this speech, Baba Sahib is saying, this thing, congressmen asked the people to vote for the Congress and promise that they will work for the welfare of all. So they state that they
Yes.
will remove poverty and help the backward classes so that they will achieve a better standard of life. So
Hmm.
Baba Sahib says, I want to ask you, can the snake and mongoose live together? Can cat cooperate with the rat? Can elephant live with the berry? Certainly, if the snake wants to mix up with the mongoose and make any profit out of it, it is mistaken. Mongoose will eat up the snake. Rat will be swallowed by the cat if it wants to join hands with the cat. Similarly, elephant cannot enjoy the life with the berry. Mongoose
Right.
is the enemy of the snake, cat is the enemy of rat, and berry is the enemy of the elephant. They
Right.
cannot form a joint company. So
Yes.
similarly, in the human world, there are weak as well as the strong persons. One is the enemy of the other, and certainly we cannot live peacefully in the company with the strong. So basically, Baba Sahib, I want to question you that if we form a party of the snake, mongoose, cat, rat, elephant, and berry, will the snake, rat, and elephant be safe there?
No.
Certainly not. Baba Sahib says certainly not. They will always be at the mercy of their masters. Similarly, if the depressed classes, so these poor people, join hands with the Brahmins, so and form a political party, do you think that the depressed classes will be safe there? Baba Sahib says, I warn you to be careful and give fullest consideration to this matter. You should not be caught in the net spread by the Congress. If you
Right.
think that by joining hands with the high caste people you will be better off, then you are mistaken. The
Right.
high caste
Right.
people will always suppress the backward classes. High caste people will enjoy the freedom, whereas our people will remain as they are. Poor people
Yes.
can never flourish under the rich and must unite separately to achieve their purpose. So, what Baba Sahab said, uh, you see, in that time, in the 1951, the situation is not different even to today after 70 75 years. So basically, if we have to get our rights and to take care of our welfare, we need to unite as Baba Sahib suggested, and form our own political party.
Mul Niwasi wasn't part. Okay, so we at least we draw one conclusion here that Bahujan Mul Niwasi must find out a party which is made up of only the Bahujan Mul Niwasi, means only the non-Brahmin party. Yeah, only the
Right.
non-Brahmin party we should unite and we should vote and we should we should solve our problems. Uh,
Right.
Moving forward, sir, I would like to say that do you think that are our are our Bahujan Mulnivasi, we the citizen or our leaders or the Bahujan Mulnivasi parties? First of all, it is very difficult to find out that if there is any Bahujan Mulnivasi party in the country. There are, if we work very hard, because in the name of the Bahujan Mulnivasi there are already so many party, but if we see there, then as per the Baba Sahib statement, it is saying the non-Brahmin party. So
Yeah.
it is very hard to find that any party where you don't find Brahmins. So you will not find any non-Brahmins party. Yeah. So that is the thing. So are our leaders, are the political parties, Bahujan Mulnivasi political parties, and the Bahujan Mulnivasi itself, are they aware of this political philosophy of Baba Sahib?
You see, actually, I think the problem is this thing. If we what Baba Sahab conveyed to the leaders, and we need to understand that. So the uh, Baba Sahab, you see, in one of the speech. Powers like even in non-Brahmin the party should rebuild itself. If you see there, uh, he mentioned that for the success of a party, he
Mm.
mentioned three things as necessary: a
Yes.
leader, a good
Mhm.
organization, and a clear and definite objective and program.
Right.
So he says it was necessary not only for members of particular communities,
Mm.
but also in the interest of democracy in India that non-Brahmin party should rebuild itself and become a power. And
Become power. Yes.
he stressed the importance of unity among the actually the meeting was in Bombay for the Marathas and all that. So here he
Mm.
said he stressed the importance of unity among the Marathas and other allied communities, urging cooperation between them and the party led by Dr. Ambedkar. So
Yeah.
basically, what he emphasized that all the communities, even they should cooperate and coordinate with each other. They should come to, on a common platform. So
Mm.
this thing is missing today.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah, to enforce your to in the same same the in the same speech in the top itself it's written that the view that true democracy in India could be safe only in the hands of the non-Brahmin party. This was expressed by Babasaheb Ambedkar.
Right,
So the democracy itself is saying that the democracy in India could be safe only in the hands of the non-Brahmin party.
right.
So
Even in the this thing, basically, there was a conference, fifth conference of this thing, scheduled caste federation, of United Province at that time. That
yes,
basically Uttar Pradesh. That is on the 24th and 25th April 1948, where he emphasized that basically the condition is similar to today, where what is there in the UP. Basically, you have multiple political parties of this in Mool Niwasis. Like
yes,
you have Bahujan Samaj Party, you have Samajwadi Party, even other small party like Rajbhar, Om Prakar Rajbhar's party. He represents Rajbhar community. Then Sanjay Nisad, who represents Nisad community. Then Anpriya Patel and all that. So you have number of the political parties in UP, and this thing based on the communities. So in this this speech is quite relevant even today. There, Baba Sahab says, just I would read one this last para, where though he was there for basically for the on the this thing, on the political parties of this in his political party, but that is relevant what he said that time. Even today, it is relevant. So he said the backward classes had suffered because of their aloofness. They
aloofness.
must forge a united front in order to wrest political power from the higher classes. And the
Yes,
system of adult franchise had brought political power to the masses. And in my opinion, was our rights if 1.5 crore scheduled caste and 1 crore backward classes people in the UP join hands against a common target, they could return 50% of their members to the legislature and capture political power. So
political power. Yes,
Baba Sahib says, I shall have no objection if the backward classes form a separate
yes,
from against higher castes.
against her.
It is deplorable that the scheduled castes and he writes, he says, it is deplorable that the scheduled caste and the backward classes are not conscious of their power, with the
Power.
result that higher castes are were dominating the administration.
Yes, yes.
you
So,
must
sir,
organize you must organize yourself under one leader, one party, one program, and
right.
you remove all caste distinctions, Yadav, Kurmi, this and that.
Yes,
You
yes.
find this, but you come to under one umbrella, under
One
one
umbrella.
leader, so that you can capture the power and basically administer the this thing, the system. So so that's what Baba Sahib says. You must
So
organize.
coming to this point, sir, coming to this point, yeah, because
Yeah,
this is a very important, sir. The one you are pointing out, as you
right,
said that we have so many so-called, so-called Bahujan Mul Nivasi party, like a BSP, you said that SP, you said Azad Party, or there is a RJD, JDU, Jhamumo, yeah, they call themselves that we are the Messiah or the for the Bahujan Mul Nivasi. But as per the Baba Sahib statement, he is telling clearly, and we should ask ourselves that how much we have understood Baba Sahib, that if these parties are really for the welfare of us, really they are going to remove our problems, to solve our problems, then why their party is already having the Brahmins and non-Brahmins together? Baba Sahib has not said only one, as you pointed out, not one time, but so many times, so many places, so many writings, that we must have a non-Brahmin party. So if we do not have, then how the our leaders and how the Bahujan Mul Nivasi are not able to visualize the vision of Baba Sahib, and they are not simply able to find out the Bahujan Mul Nivasi party. So do you see any Bahujan Mul Nivasi party in the country which is a non-Brahmin party? Do you see any party? Have you heard any name of the non-Brahmin party in the country? Do you know anything about that?
No, in non-Brahmin parties, you see, this thing, all these are whatever party name you told, they are all non-Brahmin parties. This RJD, JDU,
But they are
this thing.
having the mixture.
Yeah, but
See,
okay, but thing is, this thing they are managed by the non-Brahmin. Okay,
yeah.
they're
Okay. So,
okay.
and even one person will come into the party, even there is one person. I think Baba said there is another statement even. Then one person is enough to destroy the to the philosophy or your work or the party the work
Yeah,
So
actually, we have seen the example of that
so many
one
examples.
party
Yes.
in UP. One person came and this thing, in fact, a whole philosophy of this thing on the
Bahujan Sukha, this becomes Sarvajan Hitaya, Sarvajan
yeah,
Sukha.
on the foundation on which that party was formed. So basically,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
dilution.
I remember. Hathi nahi
It's a
Ganesh hai,
dilution.
Brahma Vishnu Mahesh hai.
It is
I
not
know
to mention
everything.
them. It is not
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
mention the name and all that. But thing is,
yeah.
we have seen that how the this thing is philosophy got diverted from Bhujan to
Bahujan to Sarvajan.
this thing. So,
What?
but actually, if we see the Baba Sahib's message, even this thing, actually there is one this thing under message Baba Sahib actually which he gave to his people at the time of when he was going to the round table conference, and the people gathered in Bombay to wish him basically happy journey and all that. So there were thousands people gathered there, and they welcome Baba Sahib, and in that during that Baba Sahib gave this thing, his message, what he's going to do, how this thing, and uh, how to take care of this thing, their requirement and other to explain the people. So
Yeah.
last thing he said in conclusion, in his speech, so he said he concluded his speech with a warning to his lieutenants and his people to keep themselves aloof from internal quarrels.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the greed for leadership would weaken their strength,
Strength.
worsen their position, and mar their goal. So,
That is what.
if leadership is greed, if and their internal fight, they are not able to ignore their internal differences and all that. So
Hmm.
basically, it is not going to serve the any
Purpose.
purpose. The Baba
Right.
Sahib said that time, even
Yeah.
if so, you can draw the inference from this. Is basically why there are so many political parties are Mool Nivasis today, because
Right.
these leaders, they have their own self interest. One leader cannot accept the this thing, leadership of other person, so
Yes.
they cannot come together.
And
Whereas the Baba Sahab said कि our fight is for unity, our fight is basically for our rights.
rights.
And you can't achieve this right if we are not united. The,
Yeah.
I
Yes. Yes.
think
That's what. Yeah.
we,
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
should,
That's what we read already. That statement.
yeah,
So
it is
yeah.
basically this unity and determination to stand for our rights, fight for our rights, and never to return until we win our rights. That is
Win
what.
our right. Yes. Until we.
Basically, Baba Sahib called for unity and this thing among ourselves, so that we can fight together. So, but that is where this thing is missing, and this message of that greed of leadership and ultimately which destroys your this thing, your strength, and so that and this is basically the other political parties, they are taking advantage of that. So
Right, right, yeah, everybody is taking either it's a BJP or the Congress or AAP or whoever is there, they are taking the advantage of that. Yeah, leaving this here itself, sir. We will just move ahead and then we are at the end of the program. We will finish it because we have a time limitations. Uh, just as you concluded or you said, I can just say or as a lesson learning that we must find out the non-Brahmin party, and in that name when I was working out, then just I saw ppid.in. So if somebody want to know, then on the website they can go ppid.in. That is called the People's Party of India Democratic. And then when I go into the detail, when I look into the structure, when I understand the philosophy of the party, then I understand that this is the only one party which is a national level party, which is a non-Brahmin party, and which is based on the thoughts and the philosophy of the Babasaheb Ambedkar. So I would request all the listeners that they must what the Babasaheb is trying to say, that there exists a party in the India that is called the People's Party of India, which is a non-Brahmin party, and the people must unite there to at least solve their purpose or solve their problems. Coming forward, sir, I mean, I would like to have a finishing message or end message from you, that what message you want to give to our listeners, because the election is in front of us and the voters are trying to find out the way. There are leaders and there are party, everybody is going and making some kind of false claim, someone is going from this party to that party, someone is running from this to that. It's happening like at any speed, you can see. And somebody who tried to understand, they were calling that he is my messiah, she is my messiah, they are found that they are joining the Brahmins party, and and this is happening, today is happening, something happened yesterday, something happened today, and something will happen tomorrow,
Yeah.
to the date of that. So what is your last message, and with that message we will finish the
Uh, Actually, I will again quote Baba Saheb, which he said during his speech at Patiala, Punjab, on 29th October 1951. That
yes,
that statement is even relevant today. He said, "We should think many times before we decide to vote for a party or an individual. The
are
people,
an individual.
yeah,
Yes,
because there could be
yeah, yeah,
independent
yeah. Yes, yes,
independent
yes,
candidate. So
yes,
he said that we should think many times before we decide to vote for a party or an individual. The people elected now will continue in office for 5 long years,
yes.
so we must be very careful about it. This is the time of life and death of political parties as well as individuals. Every
I,
citizen and political party has got to take proper part in elections, but for this, their very existence is in danger.
I
So,
want to stop you, sir. Here, you said one very important line. This is the time for the life and death of the party as well as the individual.
right,
Yeah, means election is the time where we can take the peoples of India or the Bahujan Mul Nivasi can put this party or the individual into the death or life. This is life and death of the party is within the hands of the we the Bahujan Mul Nivasi.
right,
85% or 90% of the country, right? I
right.
mean, it was very, very important. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So that is what because now it is election time. We should
Yes,
and we know which political party or who individual is going to serve our purpose. So we should be very careful, and this thing, considering the current scenario, and this thing, because of the basically the Baba Sahab's philosophy. Ultimately, what we were trying to we started, that everything culminated in his his writing of this in Constitution of India, where it's
yes.
basically emphasize this liberty, fraternity, and
Correct.
this in your
Justice, equality.
justice and all. So basically, and so today we have to think whether all those things have been met or not. And still, if we find this our conditions, this so-called scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and this thing, the conditions are not basically so we may have got the political this thing independence, but still that social and this thing economic is still far away from what was thought at the time of this thing when constitution was written. This poor is
Right.
becoming poorer, and rich is becoming richer, and all that. That is what and this whatever the positive actions were taken to improve the conditions of the downtrodden and all that, is that those conditions are being taken away. So the privatizations and all those things are happening. So basically, that whatever the conditions were created to uplift this thing, the condition of the SC/ST and all that, that is already getting narrowed down, and there is less opportunities and all there. So education is becoming costly, and this thing, healthcare is
Yes,
becoming
sir. Sure.
costly. But your economic situation is not improving the way it should improve. So basically, this thing, looking at all those things, we must think twice before casting our votes. So we have to cast our votes to a particular to a party or an individual who can take care of our needs.
Yes.
So that is
Yeah.
the Mrs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
many
Right.
things you
Right.
have already said.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think it was the as it is started. There was a lesson learning also, and there was a conclusion also in the message itself that you have very beautifully given here. I think I am very thankful to you that you joined today for the discussion of the political philosophy of Baba Saheb, and I think you have in the limited time whatever you can discuss, you have given it. The voters and the leaders, all and the parties should take learning from this one, and they must focus on that what the Baba Saheb has guided, sir, and they expected from us to solve our problems. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to conclude here. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Samvidhan, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi.
Friends, so you saw that today's discussion on the political philosophy of Babasaheb Ambedkar. You keep watching the MNT News Network every day. Tomorrow, Monday, we have a special day. Tomorrow is a Dhampat Mahotsav, मूल निवासियों की गौरवशाली परंपरा. So please do watch this in the tomorrow morning, on the Monday morning, 10 o'clock, Dhampad Mahotsav. This Mahotsav is for the मूल निवासियों की गौरवशाली परंपरा. And with this, I would like to close this program here. जय भीम, जय मूल निवासी, जय संविधान, जय भारत.
MNT न्यूज नेटवर्क को सब्सक्राइब करें, लाइक और फॉलो करना ना भूलें। साथ ही बेल आइकॉन दबाकर जन जागृति की मुहिम में जुड़े रहें।